Hey, tater tots, you're boring. We fixed that now. With bacon and cheese and green onion. And now we cook. Step 1. Tater tots in the hot box. See you in a few minutes, tater tots. Step 2. Bacon goes into the pool, but we have to see if the pool is ready yet.
Alright, you guys see how it's skittering and stuttering about the water and it's forming little bubbles that's skidding across the surface? That means the pan is at the right temperature. Now it's time to put the bacon on.
Bacon!
Alright guys, when you're cooking bacon, when you're putting it in the pan, you want to make sure that you're letting it going away from you if you have the pan on high. So that way your hand's not too much in the heat, and if the bacon starts to cook as you're putting it down, you're not going to get splashed by the grease. And you won't do the same thing when you're flipping it too. So that way, again, you can avoid those pesky little grease burns and a potential trip to the ER or the med center. Also, another point of tip, guys, when you're cooking bacon like this, you want to make sure you're controlling the heat. Because if you go too high, for example, it's going to start getting hotter and hotter, obviously. Duh, you know. But anytime you flip it, so see, look at how this one's still a little bit raw and it's still not as brown and cooked as the other side. When you flip it, it could go splash, and then that leads to ouch. You don't want splash to ouch. That's why you want to control your heat. So once your bacon's looking like that, you kind of want to take your foot off the gas. Not completely. You see, we still got some flame there. You want to take it off the gas a little bit so that way you are rendering the fat down slower and it's not as explosive. Optional side step too, if you want, after you guys are done cooking your bacon, you can save the bacon grease, put it in a little container like this, stash it in your ice chest or your fridge, and it will solidify and you can use it again for later. For when you want smoky bacon flavor and other stuff.
Hooray for upcycling!
One thing that you guys want to keep in mind too when you're cooking stuff such as bacon too, you want to make sure that even after you turn it off, the pan's still going to be hot. It's going to retain a lot of that heat, you know, because it's a big chunk of metal. It's a chunky metal object. It's going to hold the heat. So you want to be careful where you put it. Also, watch out for the bacon grease. You want to watch out for that. You don't want to knock that over. That would hurt.
Alright, now that our bacon's still going, we're going to check on the tater tots. Hello, tater tots. You're not done yet, so we're gonna shake you around. And back in the hot box you go for a little bit. See you in a little bit.
Alright, we got a few more pieces on, because you know the goblin's got to eat when he's cooking sometimes. Sometimes a little extra bacon never hurts. But one thing that doesn't hurt, and that's absolutely free, remember, like, comment, and subscribe for more. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like I said, when you're flipping the bacon, you want to make sure you're lifting it up from one side, and then you're going to lay it down away from you. So that way you don't splash yourself with the grease. And now we need to give it a little more gas because those aren't
Cooking fast enough for my liking now that we have the tater tots out. Bacon! Bacon! Cheese! Hello, tater tots. Time to come out of the hot box. They look delicious. We're going to season them in a few minutes. Right now, they need to chill out while we flip the bacon. Sizzle reel with the bacon. Sizzling. Bacon, bacon, bacon. bacon. Now it's time to build the nachos. We've got our tater tots. We've got our bacon done cooking. Now it's time to assemble.
They're like the Avengers. Some assembly required. Alright.
Now that we've got the cheese on there, it's time to introduce it to Chef Mike.
Yeah. Sometimes we gotta use a microwave. Sometimes it's a little bit easier.
And you go, see you in a minute or two. Then the cheese is gonna be all nice and melty.
We're gonna start off with 30-second intervals. So that way we're not gonna worry about the bacon getting too hot and then exploding stuff everywhere.
Alright, now that Chef Mike is done for the first round, let's look. Oh, no. We still need more time. More time to melt the cheese. See you in 30 more seconds or so. I'll go with a minute this time. And then after that, we're gonna top it with green onions. And then, surprise entry, smokehouse burnt ends dip. Hopefully this makes it fire. Alright, now that we got our green onions on there, now it's time to add the dip. But first, before we dip, time to introduce a new tool. Baby spatula! Hello, I am Baby Spatula. I am here to help you out. And now it's time to fork in. But first, we go to our certified taste tester. Choose your weapon! Now meet your maker. Here's the first bite. She's got the bacon. She's got the dip. Does she got some cheese? I think she's got some cheese on there too. Let's zoom in for a closer analysis of the bite. There's the first chomp. Is it as good as my idea said it was going to be? Oh, it's got the big head nod. Oh, we did it, folks. We upgraded from the regular head nod to the big head nod. Alright, later, Tater.